Welcome to the News9 Mediaverse, and you are watching To The Point. I'm Kartikeya Sharma. The Supreme Court of India appointed a 3-member committee to look into the relief and rehabilitation measures. The court also reorganized the investigation into the rape cases. The Chief Justice of India said that they want to restore faith in the rule of law. But there's another big development. ITLF is expected to meet Home Minister Amit Shah for talks, for a conversation. I will come to the point straight away. Brijesh, is the meeting of the ITLF, which constitutes of the tribal people, the front, will it create a space for breakthrough?
Well, I think it's a very good decision. I think it's a good breakthrough, but how important or significant that is going to be depends on what comes out of the meeting, because we have seen several such meetings taking place between various groups and the Home Ministry, but nothing substantial came out of it. In fact, it led to further hardening of positions. So it would be very interesting to see what exactly is offered to them, what exactly is offered to ITLF, what is ITLF offering in return, and whether they are in a position to get that implemented on the ground, because otherwise, you know, the way things are panning, despite all the assurances either by the MHA or by the state government or by the police and Assam Rifles, I think the entire structure there is very fragmented. You know, you have Assam Rifle pitted against Manipur police, you have MLAs, Kuki MLAs pitted against Maiti MLAs, you have the entire society in fragments, and in middle of this, I mean, you know, theoretically this looks like a big breakthrough, but I think I will wait to hear what the exact contours or what was discussed before can actually call it a big breakthrough.
You know, a lot of things are happening tomorrow. There will be a debate in Parliament. We'll be live throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday till Prime Minister of India concludes it. Rahul Gandhi is expected to start the discussion at 12 p.m. And I'm very happy to say that I'm joined by Nishikant Singh Sapam, MLA from Manipur, who has made time for us previously also, Major Amit Bansal, who understand what para operations are, special operations are, and Thangolal Haukep, who has been with us for a long time, gives a different perspective when it comes to the tribal communities. Thank you, all of you, for making time. So the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of the issue. You know, there will be multiple SITs, Deputy SP officers will be from outside the state. You know, you have 3 people who will be part of the committee. Justice, senior legal luminaries from the justice. We will show you the data also of the weapons and ammunition which has been recovered. That will be part of the story. But important thing is that those are the cases which the Supreme Court will look into, which is relief and rehabilitation. But Nishikantji, there is another issue here, which is that of burial, which is that of conversation between ITLF and the government, which is that of Maiti radicalization. The reason why I'm asking this question to you is that the courts can look into providing relief and justice to people who have undergone that cycle of violence. But then there is a larger issue of normalcy not being there. Larger issue, people can't even bury their dead ones. What happens to that, sir?
I think it's the location that is in question. Torbung has a historical past with the Moirang king, and Torbung also has a historical past. We have our hero Khamba, and Thoibi was like the hero, and Khamba and Nongban used to have races there. So there are a lot of historical things attached with Torbung area. And secondly, where the this burial site is, it is owned by the government. It's government land. There is a sericulture farm going on. So the High Court has said maintain status quo. That's how it is. So I think the Meitei community don't want the burial site there because they have a historical past. And I think elsewhere, I think it should not be such a problem. So people are stuck on that site, the other community, and I think that's the issue. I think if they change the site, I think there shouldn't be a problem.
Mr. Haukep, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for making time. Do you think that there can be a reconciliation on the burial site?
Of course, there can be a reconciliation. First of all, we have to start a dialogue with the 2 disagreeing groups regarding the site. The Kuki side would say that place has been given to certain people years back, and they have shown in social media regarding the government or notification regarding that place. So there are claims that those burial sites are owned by certain chiefs. and the other side claim that those places are historically sacred ground. As far as I know, uh, those places for the last 3 decades, I have never seen sacred grove. Of course, adjacent to those places, there is a kind of sericulture going on, and there are disputes on those sites. So we have to look clearly into the government reports, and we have to sort it out, because the Kuki side also would like to make those people who died, being displayed in certain places for the sacrifices they have met in during this time. So the Home Ministry has to bring the two sides together and sort it out, and not burying those dead bodies for the last 30 years. It's a kind of a kind of torture to the grieving families also. So something has to be sorted out. But overall, the dead are dead already, and what I right now feel is that we have to stop the violence right now. I don't know how the law and order has to be restored, but to my mind, the continuing violence sometimes that escalated in the state has to be stopped on both sides. People who are
You are saying
responsible
that the
has
violence,
to be brought.
Haukip ji, you are saying that violence needs to be, Haukip ji, you are saying violence needs to be stopped. You know, I was running these visuals, खाली घर जला दिए जाते हैं, खाली वैन जला दी जाती है. I mean to say, खाली घर जला दिए जाते हैं, खाली वैन जला दी जाती है. Metis go to a non-Meti place, he gets butchered. Kuki goes to a non-Kuki place, he gets butchered. Yes, Sapam ji, then I'll come to you, Mr. Mansur.
Yes, on the neighboring Torbung, the site we are talking about, there is a village called Kwakta, which is predominantly Meitei Muslims. So there are also Meiteis, and one family was hacked to death in the middle of the night. I think probably around 2:33 in the morning. So I mean, this is just a few days back. I think around 3-4 days back. I think you covered it also. So violence has to stop. Of course, violence has to stop. And regarding to the Torbung thing, I didn't say sacred. It has a history, and then besides that, Torbung Bangla area is all sericulture owned by the government of Manipur, and certain sites which are claimed to have been sold, the patta was never clear. It is something fishy and something not, something murky in the whole thing. But by and large, is owned by the government.
Is there also an issue of foreign fighters?
Oh yes, yeah. The Consul General of India, I think Solicitor General, sorry, himself said there are foreign fighters, and so they have come with a purpose. I am not. See, our fight is there's too much politics. There's too many things happening. There are foreign fighters coming in from outside, which the Solicitor General himself has said in the court. I mean, like he must be having some sources. A person in that eminent position is not going to say things just like that.
Okay.
So that's dangerous. That has a lot of effects with the things things are going.
Okay. Now I'm going to join Mr. Bansal, who understand what SF operations are, who understands what how army functions at the edge, the tip. What I really want to know is that despite people saying that things are normal, why do you have this ritual, 24-hour ritual, where you get the visuals of either Manipur police fighting, these are the visuals there, police having a sort of a verbal tussle with Assam Rifle, Mera Paibi stopping army convoy. The same thing is being done by the women from the Kuki community. The operations of the Indian army continues to be hindered, and empty infrastructure continues to be burnt to ground. And third, the police in itself is failing to save and retain its armory, arms and ammunition. Why is that happening?
So that's what I'm saying. The biggest issue, somebody tells me now, the biggest issue in front of the country is these looted arms and ammunition. We have got ample inputs from army sources that these arms and ammunition have already fallen into the hands of the valley-based groups.
Okay.
Now, what are these valley-based groups? So, valley-based groups are the groups, you have UNLF, you have PLA, you have PREPAC, you have KCP, you have KYKL, one of the most deadliest ones. They are the ones who have waged the war against India for last so many years, so many decades. They are the ones who have been fighting against us. They are the ones who have recently they executed an ambush where Colonel Viplav Tripathi was killed. Prior to that, there was an ambush on 6 Jogra where so many people were killed, after which India has to undertake surgical strikes. So these were all undertaken by the valley-based groups.